Special thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
So where did LEGO Video go wrong? That's a big question. There's a lot to talk about here. Let's get into this. First, I want to let you guys know I did make a first impressions review of LEGO Video when it first launched earlier in 2021. Up at the top right corner right now, I'll leave that review. You can watch that. I go in pretty in depth with the app and what the basic core of this theme is. I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about what went wrong with LEGO Video, why it's going to be discontinued this year and not come in 2022 as a reoccurring theme. LEGO even came out with a statement, which we'll get into here in a second. And then there's the question that these sets right here in front of me might not even launch in the United States, which are supposed to go on retail shelves August 1st. So full disclaimer, all of the LEGO video sets here were provided by LEGO, but as always, I will be giving you my honest opinion about all of this. I'm not going to be reviewing the sets like detail by detail. I'm going to just kind of do a brief overview about them. And then really what I want to talk about is constructive criticism of this theme and where it went wrong and what they could do to improve. All right, so first off, in terms of these sets, again, I don't even know if they're launching in the United States. I did look up, the boombox here. It is available at Kohl's to be shipped. You can't find it in the stores, but you can get it shipped. So some of these sets are available in the US, but there is a chance LEGO could just pull the sets from this August wave or the summer wave and just never release them, or release them in a year or two from now. Not entirely sure. I even got confirmation from the LEGO team that they don't even know what they're doing right now. So right now, if you go to lego.com, it just says August 1st when these sets should be released. So, who knows if they'll be available then or not. I'm going to go on the assumption that they might get pulled, so keep that in mind as I'm talking about these. All right, so first up in the middle is the most expensive LEGO video set to date. It's a $100 set. It's called the Boombox. It comes with 996 pieces. It's an okay value, your 10 cents per piece is there. You're getting 4 minifigures, and it's a relatively creative design because it can fold up into an actual boombox, which I do find really cool. It was a decent build. I did find there being quite a lot of complex techniques for a 9+ set. Actually, I thought this was more of like a 11 or 12+ set, given some of the stuff that LEGO is doing here. After that, we have the Punk pirate ship. This is going to be a $60 set, has 615 pieces. After that is the K-pop concert. That's going to be $50 and have 514 pieces. Over here we have the Candy Castle stage. It's going to be $30 and it's going to have 344 pieces. And right next to that is the Robo Hip Hop car. That's also going to be $30 and come with 387 pieces. Then lastly, we have 2 individual beat boxes here. Each of these come in at $20. In my opinion, these probably are the worst value out of this wave. So to sum that up, $100, $60, $50, 2 30s, and 2 20s. So pretty relatively expensive wave. Thankfully, these are actual LEGO sets that come with actual instructions. There's no digital instructions like there is in the LEGO Super Mario theme. You do build these just like any other LEGO set, so that is refreshing to see. Usually with these type of augmented reality type LEGO sets, they really push you to do digital instruction, so it like enhances it. But I personally hate that. I like my physical booklet of putting the LEGO sets together, so I'm glad they kept that for this theme. So you might be asking yourself, well, David, why are all these sets so high priced? What's the deal? Well, you're definitely paying quite a bit of money for the AR or app experience you get with all of these sets. They all have a different experience, and so there's a lot of time and effort that goes into making that for the app. However, I have to say the app doesn't really bring that much for me personally. After reviewing it originally, the whole concept is that you take sets or beat boxes and you basically create LEGO music videos using the characters, and then you can integrate yourself because it's augmented reality, not virtual reality. You can integrate yourself or other LEGO sets or just anything in the background to create more dynamic music videos. So I think what LEGO's been trying to do here is kind of create like the next Pokemon Go, or at least recreate some of that, just like a sliver of how popular Pokemon Go is would be successful for the LEGO group here, but that just isn't the case. This theme has been very unpopular. Surprisingly though, there are people out there that buy LEGO video sets. Parents are buying this for their kids. I looked at some reviews on lego.com and other websites, and parents are actually pretty happy with some of this stuff. but I guess it just hasn't been selling well. So how do I know it's not selling well? Well, LEGO just released a statement this past week stating that LEGO Video will be discontinued next year in 2022. All right, so before we continue, I do want to thank our sponsor, Squarespace.
So for a while now, I have been really interested in creating a blog. So that's why I use Squarespace to not only buy my brand new domain, brixphotos.com, which is actually a real website that you can go to. Squarespace has a full-on template to start up your blog right away. And I specifically wanted to focus on my photography skills because that's what I specialized in college. So for this, I decided to do a Geonosis themed website showing the progress through photography. And with Squarespace easy, ready to go templates, it took me literally minutes to get this site up and running and public for you guys to view. And if you use the link squarespace.com/solidbrickstudios, which is in the description, you'll get 10% off.
I'll put the statement on the screen right now. You can pause the video and read the whole thing. Kind of skimping around here. Basically, we've seen a positive response to the launch, but we've also received feedback from people that we could make the play experience across the app, beat bits, music, and minifigures even simpler. So we're taking that on board, and together with Universal Music Group are going to pilot some new ideas in 2022, then release new play experiences in 2023 and beyond. LEGO Video is very much still available. The current products will continue to be sold in stores and marketed globally. There you go. So they are supposedly canceling this theme for now and will bring it back in some way in 2023. So will these sets be put on hold and then come back out in 2023 with an entirely new app? I really don't know. But I have to agree with what they had to say. This is a very complex theme. There's a lot going on here. To some of you watching, you probably find some of these sets kind of interesting. Maybe you like the pop art color scheme that they've gone here, but it's very confusing. I don't know exactly what their big marketing message here is. Like, I guess they're trying to target both boys and girls, you know, with different types of colorings and themes here, but in my opinion, it just kind of gets messy very quickly. None of this is really coherent. The minifigures especially are very strange. They're way too furry-like, in my opinion. I don't know. I feel like they're not appealing to the bigger audience that they could. So in case you weren't aware, these sets right here in front of me are in partnership with Universal Music Group. They are one of the biggest labels in the world. Taylor Swift, Post Malone, The Beatles, like every big name you can possibly think of is signed under Universal Music Group. And LEGO has access to all of this to work with this label. And they made this. Big mistake. Big mistake. In my opinion, LEGO isn't using this license to its full potential. There's a lot that can be done here. First off, I would just scrap all of what's on the table here and start fresh. That's what they plan on doing next year. They're going to go to the drawing table and be like, what's wrong? What are we doing wrong? What can we do differently? Personally, LEGO should really tie in Universal a lot more and maybe actually create, actual sets based off real music videos that people love watching. Music videos are one of the most watched videos in the entire world, billions and billions of views. And yet you're not using any of that to your potential here. I get it. The idea is that, kids can make their own music videos, but kids love music videos themselves. And there's such a potential here. And let me explain. First off, if LEGO doesn't want to create like a Taylor Swift music video set, that's understandable. Maybe they can't make a Taylor Swift LEGO minifigure. Maybe that's not something Universal has rights to. Who knows? But what they could do, and I think this is where it could really work, is make parody LEGO sets of actual music videos. Hear me out here. Parodies are the second most popular music video in the world. And there's a reason for that. When they see that big Taylor Swift music video that just dropped, they love it. They're watching it, 24/7. And then some other big YouTuber comes along and makes like a really funny, entertaining parody of something that you already love. Why can't LEGO emulate that with LEGO sets? It doesn't have to be perfect, but just something that's recognizable to the average person of like, oh, that's totally like a reference to Taylor Swift's music video. Any of that would work. And you would automatically be gauging a bigger audience instead of kids that aren't super familiar with this type of stuff. Kids look at music artists as celebrities and as icons, and they look up to them. And the fact that you aren't integrating any of that, even whether it's a parody or an exact replica of like a famous artist, it just seems so wasted in my opinion. So personally, all of this here in front of me doesn't make a lot of sense given the license. Everything here on the table would make a lot more sense if LEGO didn't have this license with Universal. It would make so much sense because they would probably make their own song for each one of these sets, and then you could use that song and remix it in the app and stuff like that. But that isn't the case. They want you to integrate actual songs that you listen to on a regular basis, that you watch actual music videos of on a regular basis, and integrate that with these very wacky, strange sets. That's the biggest disconnect for me, is that you're trying to integrate something so popular and that you already have something very planted in your head of what that artist should be in a music video, and they're just not utilizing that. Personally, if they have to stick with what they've made here, I would dial back the colors first off and dial back the poppiness. First off, does this look like a Lego set to you? This doesn't seem like Lego at all. They need to figure out, how do we make this a Lego set first and an AR experience second? And they definitely tried to do that with this second wave, but it just isn't coming through. This is very Hidden Side for me. And if you aren't aware, Lego Hidden Side was an AR focused Lego theme that actually had pretty good Lego sets that were pretty interesting. But again, the box art was terrible. You could barely tell it was a Lego set, and nobody bought it because of that. Even though that the actual sets were solid, nobody realized on the shelves that this was a Lego product, even though it was in the Lego section. It just went right over people's head. So graphic design needs to be changed. I would scrap all of what they've done here, and I'd start fresh with referencing parody videos into actual Lego sets, so there's a connection here with the music that you're trying to integrate into the app. As for the AR experience through the app, I think it is a fun idea and that can enhance these sets, but they shouldn't be necessary to have fun with the sets. The biggest core functions in these video sets is that you can turn things around and spin them. Like, that's literally how it is in almost every single set, is that you spin something. Like, that's the only function. Can we get a little bit more functionality than this? It doesn't make much sense to me. As for the beat bits, I understand the concept of collecting something cool and then, adding an effect to the app. But personally, it just feels pretty wasted. I don't feel kids are that interested in collecting these. I would find some other way to introduce effects and make something more collectible and desirable than just beat bits. So that's some pretty harsh criticism, but I think it's what Lego needs to hear. I do like some of these sets. They are pretty interesting to build, but in terms of the overall arching theme and what they're trying to achieve here, I just don't feel like it's on point, and it just isn't appealing to a wider audience that I think Lego is trying to go after. There's so many kids out there that love watching music videos on a daily basis, whether they're on the school bus, whether they're hiding their phone under their table in elementary, middle, or high school. It doesn't matter. There's so much interest in music videos, and I just don't feel like what they've done here quite captures that. So I do appreciate Lego for sending these sets over for review. The sets themselves are okay. They are okay value, but honestly, all of them are a little overpriced because of that AR experience. So I really can't recommend any of them at the retail price. And who knows, these might not even launch in the United States. They were supposed to launch all the way back in June, as Europe and a bunch of other countries around the world did. But the US release was held off for some reason, probably because they're questioning to even release them because of the sheer unpopularity that has come out of this theme. So unfortunately, these may never come available, or they might not come available until 2023 if they do indeed continue the theme. My personal opinion is it's a total 50-50 bet whether LEGO Video actually returns after 2022 and 2023 and beyond, as the PR statement said. Let me know what your thoughts are. LEGO is listening. They want to hear your feedback about LEGO Video. What is wrong about this theme? What makes it feel like you don't want to buy it? Is it the wackiness of the sets? Is it the weird minifigures? Is it the fact that you just don't want to use an AR app to enjoy a Lego set? They want to know this type of stuff. So leave a comment down below. I'm sure they'll be watching this video trying to gauge what went wrong with LEGO Video. So please help them out and help them realize what exactly is going wrong with this theme. And that's going to be it, guys. Hopefully this was helpful to LEGO. I really think the parodies is the way to go. I think that would be so much fun. It would engage so many more LEGO fans into the idea of music video making and really have that connection with the song itself. There's just so much potential here, and they could just do so much more. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful day. Bye-bye.